Hey brothers, it's Brother Makalani. Uh, Once again coming at you with a screencast how-to. Today I want to talk about how to catch a podcast, how to receive a podcast for your MP3 player on your desktop. Uh, you can use, suggesting you use the software or application normally called a podcatcher. Here we have the definition of a podcatcher from blogosity.com. It is software designed to download and to aggregate podcasts for the use in an audio player like an MP3 player, iPod. Some available podcatchers include Juice and Doppler Radio. There are some other ones. Go to a site called podcatchermatrix.org. And there, podcatchermatrix.org, and there you'll find a whole list of different podcatchers that you can use. Doppler, G-Potter, there's iTunes, there's J-Potter. You can compare and contrast, and then just put the name of that podcatcher in Google, and it will take you to the site where you can download it. My personal preference is My Potter, which you get off the podcastready.com site. That's the one I use, and I use it because it is MP3 based. It's a software that goes on your MP3. It's not on your desktop. It's not on any computer. It's on your MP3. So whatever computer you use, you can get your feeds from. So if you don't have access to your own computer, you can still plug it into any computer that has internet access, and you can get your feed. So that's why I like it. So first of all, what we want to do is we want to see how to get a feed from a website that is a podcast site or a video podcast site. So we're going to use our Toll Ministry site, and we go to the home page. This is our Toll Ministries website home page, and as you can see, there's our latest post. But it has this RSS symbol, and it has posts, and we click that, and it takes us to this screen. You're viewing feeds that contain frequently updated content, and we see this in the status bar, in the URL bar, the URL, and you copy this. This is the URL to the feed. You take that, and now you put this that you've copied into your podcatcher's feed application. And so we're going to go to podcastready.com, and we are going to, for example, add this to our website. You saw the podcastready.com in the URL. So these are my podcasts that I'm subscribing to. I'm going to subscribe to a new one. I click plus, and boom, I pasted it into this manually add podcast by using RSS feed URL, and then I would click boom, import, and it would then load it onto my list of subscribed podcasts. Boom, there you have Toll Ministries. So now this is a podcast that I'm subscribed to. Anytime anything new comes up, bam, I'll get it immediately when I log on to the internet, when I hook my MP3 player up to any internet access computers. Another reason why I like Podcast Ready and My Potter is this friends option here. You know, I'm all about social networking. I'm all about us being on a oneness, having access to the same ideas and the same resources. We can share the same podcasts. You can have, by being my friend, you'll have access to all my podcasts that I subscribe to, new ones that I'm trying out, and don't like or whatever, and I can do the same for you, so we can all be on the same page. So let's do this podcast ready thing, and everybody get my Potter um, uh, on their MP3 players or on their desktop, because they do have a desktop solution as well. Um, so once you get it, the feed into the podcast ready, let's see what it looks like when you plug in your um, MP3 player. So I plug in my MP3 player, and boom, this shows up in my computer area, or it also shows up on my screen where I can go to this. So I click the icon, it shows up as a drive in my computer, and I go down to podcast ready and click that, and the software activates, and it begins to download all the new podcasts that I have received, or that I am just going to receive. Got a lot of podcasts on it. Got a lot of time at work to listen to podcasts. So there's, you see, Toll Ministry. Nothing new. I've already downloaded our newest episode, so there's nothing new there. Okay. You see all my different little podcasts. Now, once it is finished, see it's searching for new content. Once it's finished doing that, then I can download the podcast. It's going to give me an option to download the podcast. There it is. So now, boom. Now it's downloading the 11 new podcasts that I have, and they'll go on to my MP3 player, and boom, I'm ready for Freddy. All right, bros, let's get into this. Another great opportunity for us to grow, learn, and understand. Easy way to get a Toll Ministries podcast into your podcast feeder.